Hey guys, so my product is True Light and my group is Adolescent Athletes. I just want to preface and say that I do not have a camera that works, not on anything but my phone, so just an apology. So what is it? It is a complete electrolyte water enhancement that is from a plastic shot bottle similar to the one in the upper left that's going to be around 100 grams. And it's going to be marketed toward adolescent athletes. You use it by pouring the shot bottle into a large bottle containing at least 32 ounces of water to dilute it and distribute the flavor. And you want to do it before or after activity to enhance recovery. Are there any current competitors? Yes, actually. Light Show is one of the major ones. It is a dietary supplement, but I included it because it is probably the most prominent competitor to the product that I have now. It's marketed towards adults and it's pure electrolytes, and there's no artificial color sweeteners or flavors. It is just pure electrolytes that you add into a smoothie or something. It is quite expensive, but it seems healthy. And then there's Gatorade, which is marketed towards everyone. It says electrolyte drink, but it is really only sodium and potassium in there, which is not all the electrolytes at all. And then there are artificial colors and sweeteners present. And then there's my product, that's a True Light marketed towards teens. It does have electrolytes and it does have artificial colors and sweeteners, seemingly to be the best of both worlds, to appeal to both the healthy and the teenagers. So adolescence, it's a very important time in their life for growth and development. And it starts with puberty and hormonal changes, as we all have learned about and experienced. They gain about 20% of their adult height, they gain about 90% of their bone mass, 50% of their adult weight, and they develop their cognitive decision-making skills during this time, featuring my brother. That's him in the picture. Okay, so here's a quick little math problem for you. Nutritional needs of a teenager multiplied by their peer opinion who thinks that eating healthy is lame, multiplied by their imaginary audience, which makes them super self-conscious and think that everybody is watching them like they're a star of a TV show, equals really unhealthy choices nutritionally. More likely to choose fast food and convenience beverages over nutritionally good beverages. Challenges of a young athlete nutritionally. It can make it very difficult whenever your peers don't want you to eat healthy, but you need to because you're an athlete and you need the most nutrition as possible in terms of kcals because you're using the most kcals out of anyone. My brother used to work out at least 3 hours a day with his team, with his athletic class, and then after school with his team again. 3 hours a day. That's a lot of calories burnt. They need a well-balanced diet. They need lots and lots of water. And they also need those electrolytes lost from the sweat to be replenished. So what exactly is lost during exercise? The main ones are calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium, and water. Those are the main electrolytes that are lost and that need to be replaced. So what does calcium do? It is essential, just like all the minerals that we're going to be talking about, your body cannot make it, so you need to eat it. But it helps develop and maintain strong bones. And the figure that I'm going to be referring to, it's linked in the bibliography, but essentially a study was done to compare the value of the minerals in the blood prior to exercise to the value of the minerals in sweat after the exercise. So 34% of whatever amount of calcium they had in their blood was found in their sweat that they lost. What about magnesium? It holds calcium in the teeth and in the bones. It promotes resistance to tooth decay, creates blood clots, and again referring to that figure, 22% of magnesium is lost from the blood into the sweat. The functions of potassium are to prevent mineral withdrawal from the bones, and that is also aiding in alkalinity of blood. And then more than 2 times the amount of potassium found in the blood is present in the sweat. So you lose a ton of potassium during exercise. Isn't sodium bad for you? I know that you're not supposed to include sodium in processed foods, that's what they're pushing for, but to be honest, sodium has an essential function, and that's why it's still recommended in our daily recommendation intake. It has a function of sustaining fluid balance, muscle function, and nerve communication. Those are all very important things that the body wouldn't have been able to accomplish without sodium. And of course, you lose 10% during exercise, which needs to be replenished somehow, some way. So what are the functions of water? It helps mental and physical performance, so not only in the field, but off the field. It helps regulate temperature, remove waste and toxins, distribute nutrients, lubricate joints, and just a really quick note on hypohydration. It's linked in my bibliography, but according to a study that was performed on female soccer players, 45% of the athletes performed in a hypohydrated state, meaning they performed in a state of uncompensated loss of body fluid. And imagine that's adult women athletes at 45%. Can you imagine the statistic for teenagers? Just imagine. So what is Truelight? So I formulated it to fill the need of the exact population that I studied about, which is adolescent athletes. The figures that we already looked at, the 34%, 22%, all of these figures that were lost in sweat. I formulated it to where one single serving would try and meet those goals. So calcium, we did meet the goal. Magnesium, I met the goal for females and almost did for males. Potassium, I did not even come close. I tried. Unfortunately, I do believe that potassium has such a bitter aftertaste, and it's so pungent. I don't even know if it's legal after a certain point to add, unless calling it a dietary supplement. So I went with a safe option and kept it on the lower end. And then salt, it did not meet the goal, but it was pretty close, and I'm not worried about that because teens have a naturally salty taste for their food anyways. And then of course, pouring it into 32 ounces of water will really promote hydration. Just a quick note on the notable ingredients that I added to this product to make it a bit more palatable as well as safe. Added citric acid, malic acid, and potassium sorbate. All of those are preservatives. Citric acid and malic acid also aid in giving a sour taste. Stevia is for palatability to give it a slight sweetness. L-serine, glycine, L-alanine, L-ornithine, and aspartic acid are all amino acids that are present on the skin after activity. I added those in replacement as well, just in addition. Added natural flavor in the colors to make it a bit more palatable and naturally flavorful. I added gum arabic to make it a bit more palatable on the mouth, and then I also added sucrose acetate isobutyrate, which will help with emulsification. Sales pitch real quick. Teens want to look cool. Active teens need to replenish their body, and this product does both of those things. This product is necessary because it nearly replaces the electrolytes that were lost. It encourages drinking water, and it encourages taking care of the body. It's so important to encourage those habits early on. Compared to the competitors, again, it's the best of both worlds, encouraging water drinking as opposed to sugary drinks, and also gives complete electrolytes. The only weaknesses that it has is the lack of complete potassium, and the possible package waste and the effect on the environment. Of course, portion packaging can be very harmful, but if it's recyclable, there's a chance that not everything will end up in the landfill. Strengths, it fills most all the electrolyte loss except potassium. It encourages hydration, promotes nutrition, and also education on what electrolytes need to go into their body. And that's it. These are my references. I enjoyed being in class with y'all this semester. It was really joyful. This is my last semester. And so, yeah, see ya.